But we on, right? HCC? Okay. All right, man. So we're on. We're here. I'm changing up a little bit. Normally, like I told you, just so everybody knows right now, I got Reggie Davis with me on the show. What's up, Reggie?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited that you're on doing this with me. I've been wanting to do this like this for a while. Just having somebody on talking about something that I like. In this particular case, football.
Mm-hmm.
Just give everybody a background that's watching and listening. Reggie is a wide receiver on the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys. Probably the greatest team that God ever created would be how I would say it. So, I mean, some people may disagree with me, but God bless the Cowboys. That's why he had a hole in the roof on the previous stadium so he could watch his favorite team play. I remember I went and did a tour of Texas Stadium, and that's what they always said, that hole in the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So God can watch his favorite team play.
That's a throwback, man.
And when you grow up in Dallas-Fort Worth, that's just, man, the Cowboys are it. So that's where I'm from originally, Dallas-Fort Worth. So you're on the Cowboys. So that's number one. You're high up in my book right now already with that. But I just love football. I love talk about football. Love to watch it. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about football, if that's good with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So just so everybody knows, Reggie is really from Tallahassee, Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised?
Born and raised.
So I got to ask, you didn't go to Florida State.
Nah, I ain't go to Florida State.
Why didn't you go to Florida State? That's hometown.
Well, I ain't go to Florida State because I had to get away from home to grow up a little bit.
Okay.
If I'm sitting here with my mom and dad, 2-3 miles away from the school,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna never be on my own
Right.
in reality wise. As
Right.
far as like if I moved to another state.
Right.
So that's why I moved to University of Georgia also to play in the SEC, and I had a good relationship with the receiver coach at the time.
Okay. All right. You were at Georgia when Mark Richt was there, correct?
Yeah, Mark Rick and Kirby Smart.
Okay. So you had Kirby. I was looking at. I did some research.
Mm-hmm.
I did some research on you, man.
That's cool.
I looked you up yesterday. You were so Kirby Smart's first year was your last year.
Yeah, I only had Kirby Smart for 1 year, my senior year.
Okay. To give everybody a background on Reggie, you were I looked it up. Like I said, man, I got all right here. You were a Rivals top 250.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rivals website that I saw, they had you at 230. You were 30th as far as receiver position goes, and in your state, you were just 37th overall. That's what I read.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's about right.
Went to Lincoln High School.
Mm-hmm.
What other people might we know from Lincoln High School in Tallahassee?
I had Taj Williams. He went to TCU. We had James Hearns. He went to Louisville. We also had Fred Ross back in the day, 2005.
Okay.
They had articles about him saying that he could probably play in the pros out of high school.
Okay.
He was big time. Antonio Cromartie, B.J.
Cromartie
Daniels.
went to Lincoln. Okay.
B.J. Daniels. He would play quarterback at USF.
Yeah.
And him. Alfonso Thorpe, he was big back then. Got lost kind of in college. Who else do we have? Big names. Gavin Dickinson.
Okay.
Played at Florida. Played baseball and football. He was there. That's pretty much I can think of as far as right now.
Okay. Are y'all in Florida? Just because we're down here in Texas, so I don't know.
No, John Burt. He went to Texas, University of Texas.
You saw my.
He was number one.
Right?
So
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, good. I know John Burt. I know he's and you too. I think you were a little bit of everything, football and track, because that's what John Burt is too,
Georgia won't
right?
let me run track, man.
Yeah.
They won't let me.
Well, we'll get into that. It's funny, some programs I think which we talked about before. Some programs are cool with that, with other guys playing other sports. Some just don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of your experience at Georgia.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're at Lincoln. I saw you are 12-2 your senior year. Is that right?
Yep.
Lincoln, in terms of how are they in terms of Florida football in high school as far as the program, the city? Because here in Texas, we can rattle off all kinds of big time programs here in Texas. What about in Florida as far as Lincoln?
Lincoln was big. We always had all the scouts coming through. Like if they came to Tallahassee, they're gonna stop at Lincoln first. At least when I was there, and we always were in the playoffs. We won district back-to-back years for a long period of time. It was a powerhouse school. So if you went to Lincoln, you're gonna go somewhere.
Seems like every state has a Lincoln High School, and Lincoln High School is awesome at sports. Like in Dallas, I'm from Dallas. Like Dallas Lincoln, fantastic as far as basketball goes. In some kind of sport, a Lincoln High School, it seems like, always has really good sports.
I mean, we had good football. We had a decent track team. I can't say basketball. They were okay. They weren't like, if you go to New York and Jersey, they weren't like that. But
right.
They had players. So mainly it was football. Like if you went to Lincoln, it was known for football.
That's a football program.
Yeah, it's football.
Okay.
And then 90% of the track athletes played football. So you know how that carries over. And you get a few that play basketball.
Right.
And then so on.
Okay. You're at Lincoln, and I saw y'all were 12-2, lost in the state championship. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
To
St. Thomas Aquinas.
What is it? What's St. Thomas Aquinas? I know I've heard about them
private
before.
School.
They've got a lot of players that come through.
They got
there.
a lot of players because they get to recruit.
Yeah.
So private school, they get to recruit players. So you got a team in Florida, they recruiting somebody in Virginia.
So y'all are doing so in y'all's brackets as far as the tournaments go in state. Y'all are playing public and private school.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
and
separation.
It depends. Usually 4A, 5A. So my first 3 years we were 4A, and then we got bumped up to 7A.
7A.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's how we ended up playing St. Thomas Aquinas.
How big was your graduating class?
It was like 500.
Dang, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah, but I mean in Cali they got crazy numbers out there.
How big?
Like 600-700 to that. Like some schools get up there. I've been talking to people in the locker room. They're like, we have like 800 kids, 900. I'm like, golly, like
that's a lot of kids.
You probably didn't even. You saw somebody a freshman. You probably didn't see them to graduation.
That's right. So St. Aquinas. So you are, but that's what I'm saying. There was no separation as far as public schools to private schools. Because here in Texas, they have the UIL and then they have the TAPS, which is the private school. So they do separate. They don't. Public and private don't play together.
But it depends because St. Thomas Aquinas was South Florida and it was a bigger school.
Okay.
We had some private schools in Tallahassee, but if we play them, no offense to them, the score is gonna be 70-0.
Okay.
Like we're not gonna play those teams, but you'll play a private team like South Florida if you're in North Florida or vice versa.
Right.
But you're not gonna play McClay High School, which is a private school there. You're not gonna play them because it's not fair to either or.
So who was on St. Aquinas that might know that y'all played? Anybody you can think of?
I think it's Joey Boza. I think his name was. Played for the Chargers, the defensive end.
Oh, really? He was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was there.
Bosa.
Yeah, killing the O-line.
He went to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine that kid in high school.
I mean, I was playing receiver, so I was good, but
yeah.
I mean, he was definitely making some noise. That's why we lost how we did.
A one-man show.
One-man show.
I can't imagine. Because, I mean, he's kicking it in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's killing it.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what he would do in high school, and he killed it in college.
Yep.
I mean, when you're he was a top 5 pick in the draft. So, I mean, I love to see those high school videos of guys like that just because, and I watch some of the videos of games that you play. You just have people that stick out. Like, you can just see that's an athlete right there.
Yeah, he was huge in high school.
So you're a four-star recruit. And I mean, you had what I saw, it said you had 19 offers.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right? Like legit offers where they were wanting you to come on. They were offering you a scholarship.
Yeah. And then, the way some of it goes is if Georgia and Florida offer you, some schools will look and be like, oh, if these two schools offered him, he must be good. Mm-hmm. So we should throw an offer. Yeah. And, a lot of these are usually verbal offers, and they usually give you an official once you narrow it down to, like, the top 5 or whatever. Yeah. But, I pretty much had scholarships from all over.
Yeah. Big ones I saw, Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Florida, Notre Dame. Those were some of the bigger names, I guess, that you had. Well, I'm sure a lot of other ones. There were, like I said, 19 offers. So, but those are the ones I guess people would know the most. Were any of these, when you would talk to when you were getting recruited like that, what kind of pitches are they giving you? Are they saying, man, you come on here, you'll start? Are they what are they saying to you to get you to come to their school?
Some schools will say that, or they'll compare you to a player and be like, man, you come here, you could be like Percy Harvin. Like, that's anybody that dream.
Like when you go to Florida.
Hey, you go to Florida, yeah. But really, you gotta go outside of football and actually think like, could I live here for 3. You know, some people go to college 3. They get drafted at their junior year, or you stay 4. If you get red shirt at 5, could I stay here for 3 to 5 years? If you can't stay there, I might not be the school for you, because you know, football is what, 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to spend the rest of that year training and living in that state, or you know, wherever you are. So you got to think, can my family come visit me? Like, if I want to go home, can I drive? Or is it an automatic plane ticket?
Yeah.
You got to think about all that. And also, you got to think what's best about your future. So sometimes going far may be good for you, and you may be able to play early and grow up, or maybe staying at home for your family's sake. If you got people back at home you got to take care of, you got to think about that.
Right.
And you got to take all that into consideration. That's why you really need some guidance. You need people older, people who've done it before. Like I talked to Jaquez Green. He played with Birdie Manuel in the league, played at Florida, and he helped me make the decision too, as well as where I should go.
When those guys are giving you direction or giving you advice, what is their advice to you? Like, what was the big thing they said? Hey, look, wherever you go to school, make sure that you this.
Well, one is, you know, everybody gonna say education. You got to get your education. You got to get that piece of paper, because you might as well. It's paid for. You're not paying for it, so why not?
Right.
And then 2, how are you learning football? Like, majority of the teams in the league are running pro style offense, so it kind of hurts you a little bit as far as learning scheme wise when you go to spread offense and run 5 wide, because most teams nobody's really running 5 wide in the NFL like that.
Right.
So why go learn that system and then come to the league and learn pro style? That's learning all over again. It kind of set you back, especially people who aren't quick learners, because the league is quick. It's day to day. You know, every day you learning something new, so you got to be on top of it. So that's another thing. I didn't want to. It sounds good as far as stat wise to go to a spread school if you're a receiver, but if you're thinking long term, some people can't adjust from spread to the pro. Like the concept don't make sense to them.
Well, from what I heard, when it comes to what you see or what people say that the complaints are, is that with a pro style offense that you run in like a place like Georgia, because I know that's one of the things I saw. They run a pro style offense with Mark Richt, is you have different route trees that you're running. Whereas in a spread offense, like they do a lot, like in the Big 12, you have one route. That's all you run.
It's a wristband. Like I've talked to some people who've been in spread, and I was like, you know, did y'all go over plays? Like, I'm trying to help them learn and ask, like, you know, you got to look at certain plays as like, what about this name can help me remember what route I have? But some people say they ain't even had plays. They just had a band on their wrist and they yell out a number or signal a number, and they look at their wristband and run the route.
That's the placards that they have on the sideline.
And it's like, I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but if you can't learn concepts, like if someone can't tell you a plan, you can't draw it, you already behind the 8 ball.
And I think that's why when you look at the success of receivers in the NFL, so many SEC receivers are just killing it, right? I mean, is that kind of what your experience is? Because they have that experience of running different routes, having an experience of reading somebody off the line and knowing what your QB is going to throw.
Because if you know concepts already, when you go to the league, the concept's already there. It's just named something different.
Right.
But if you come from somewhere where all you get is just numbers, and then you go from numbers to words, it's like a foreign language to some people.
Is that why you think the SEC gets some of the best when it comes to just athletic offensive players because of that? Like, do guys really look at that and go, I'd rather go to the SEC and have an opportunity to run a pro-style offense than go to a Big 12?
I mean, it could help you, definitely, being a pro-style offense. But then again, if you go do numbers wherever you at, if you at Alabama State and you go crazy, they're going to come look at you. Yeah. Because obviously you're doing something right.
Right.
I'm not saying, the SEC is where you should go, but it does help as far as playbook-wise in the future. But some people can adjust. So some people can go to the Pac-12 and come to the league and nothing changed. They still balling. So, I mean, you got to as far as weighing your options, the pros and cons, that's how I look at it.
Okay.
As far as the playbook-wise, what is similar to the NFL and what's going to help me be able to transition to understand ball more.
Okay. You go to Georgia. Like I said, you had a lot of offers. One of the things I noticed, I always want to look at classes and see notables that you have in certain classes that guys come out. And, man, you had some big names in your recruiting class that you had. You had several teammates that you got now in that class. I saw Taco was in that class. I saw Jordan Lewis was in that class. Zeke was in that class. And what's crazy, Zeke was 84th. In the Rivals.com website, he was the 84th recruit, 84th ranked recruit in that class, which is crazy when you think about it now, where he's at in the NFL. Jalen Smith was third in that class. Did you know any of this? No,
I'm not gonna lie to you. The recruiting process annoyed me.
It did.
Like, it got to the point where I was like, man, I'm about to commit because I'm tired of answering these phone calls, getting asked the same question.
I could imagine, because you're getting letters, you're getting phone calls, you're getting all kinds of things.
And the way it happens is, like, it'll be Sunday, a random reporter will call and be like, hey, just want to catch up with you, want to know what's your top 5, you taking any visits. You could be like, yeah, Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, blah, 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 my top 5, and I'm going on a visit. Boom, that article released, and they see it, 10 more people calling. 10 more people calling.
10 more schools calling you?
No, 10 more reporters calling to ask the same question.
Yeah.
They're going to ask me the same exact question that this man just asked me on the article.
Yeah. So you had that happen a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, just as a player, like, it's annoying because, I mean, if I already said it once or twice, why are you going to ask me the same question 5 times in a row? At least space it out. Don't all call me the same day.
Do you think, though, the kids nowadays, because I don't think it was as much when you were coming out, because now, you see the Twitter mentions that they have as far as who their top 7 is or their top 5. Like, do you think the kids nowadays, though, like that attention?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it was different, right? When you came up, then
it was way
now.
different when I came in. Not saying I'm that much older, but now if you got that hype behind you, college is gonna be easy for you.
Yeah.
If you got people who come in, they tweeting Dog Nation or whatever their little slogan is, whatever nation it is, they come in, they got them followers, they got them fans behind them. Like, ball gonna be real easy for them.
I mean, it's crazy
because
now.
they got the hype behind them.
It's crazy now what I see. Like, kids are making movies announcing where they're going to go to college. I don't know. I mean, it's entertaining. It's entertaining to watch, but it's just crazy how into it they get in relation to making their announcement, as opposed to, I'm sure when you did it, it was sit at a table. Did you do the sit at a table thing and do the hat
I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably called Mark Rick on a Sunday or Monday, like, yo, Coach Mark Rick, I'm committing.
That's how it was.
I'm committing.
So you didn't do any of the
He was
table.
eating. He kind of like choked, like, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm committing. Like, I want to be a Bulldog. I'm done with that recruiting process.
How far out before you graduated did you do that?
I did it like the summer going into my senior year, so like June, July.
So you didn't even have to do any of that. While you were playing, you were done.
No, I was done. And that asked, are you gonna change your mind, take any visits? And my head coach was like, nah, we're not doing no other official visits if you committed, because it creates controversy between schools. Like, somebody may back out because you committed and now you changed up. Nah, we ain't gonna offer you no more. Yeah. And you just never know how that goes. So if you're gonna commit, stick with it. If not, then keep your options open.
At that point, was it a verbal? It was just a verbal.
Yeah, it's
commit,
verbal.
Right?
It's never official until you sign that paper. Until they send the official and you sign and fax it back to them.
Do you still have schools, even though you had the verbal, still reach out to you?
They'll reach out to you. You ever think about switching over, or or they send you letters and stuff. How it goes. So they definitely keep trying.
Do they do any of the? Are you sure you want to go there because they do this or they won't do that? Like, does anybody when in the recruiting process, did anybody do that to you? Like, not necessarily talk bad about another school, but just say, hey, if you go there, this is not going to happen like it would here.
I mean,
you don't have to give names.
My high school coach was Jacquez Green. He was a great at Florida. So a lot of people was like, man, that boy going to Florida. Like, and I ain't going to lie, I didn't want to go to Florida. But it had all those coaching changes. And
what was the change at that point? I forget.
Charlie Wise had left.
Okay.
So once he left, I can't even tell you who was the next because they had like 8 of them after that. So I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I really feel like I dodged the bullet, honestly. Yeah. Because once he left, they kind of took my offer back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they told me to come to a camp to show them I could play, and they'll offer me again. I went to the camp, and I was just chilling with my coach because we had took some other people with him. I didn't work out.
Would you have gone to Florida if Weiss had stayed?
Oh, yeah, I definitely would have.
Was it that system that they run? That's what you liked? Was it a system or just a school?
Man, that was right. That was when Florida was hot. That's when Percy Harvin and them boys came out. Chris Rainey, Jeff Demps. That's
I'm
when
trying to think who was the QB around then at that time.
Tebow.
Oh, it was Tebow time.
Yeah. I think I probably I was like 2008 when Tebow fans like 11, 10 somewhere up in there, and I was coming out in 13. So I don't know who the quarterback was right then, but Florida was still. It was hot.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to Florida. It's like, 2 hours from home. My parents can make the drive.
Yeah.
Like, why not? That's a Florida boy dream to go to Florida.
Absolutely.
Just like Texas. Everybody want to go to Texas.
Well, it doesn't seem like everybody want to go to Texas now.
Or now, but back then when Vince Young was running,
yeah.
All right. Okay.
Well, I guess, that was way before then. But, how far was Athens from Tallahassee?
5 hours.
So Athens, for those that don't know, University of Georgia is in Athens, Georgia, right?
Yep.
So how far was it from Tallahassee?
About 5 hours.
Okay, so it's a good drive, but it's not.
But
it's not too bad
compared to 5.
It's not too bad.
You can make a day trip.
2 hours from Tallahassee to Gainesville. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you picked Georgia. Georgia, just because of the kind of offense they ran compared to who else you were looking at the time. Is that right?
Say it again.
You picked Georgia because of the kind of offense they were running. You like that pro-style offense. Did you think whenever you went there, you said, okay, I'm going to get a certain number of balls my way. I'm going to get a certain number of catches. Did you?
I ain't think that way. I was just like, man, I'm trying to come on the scene and play right away.
Yeah.
The rest will happen.
Did they give you any assurances when you came on? Hey, you're going to play right away? You're gonna.
Nah, they never sold me a dream like that. They just told me, you come and you work hard, we could definitely see you playing here.
Okay. All right.
And I just took that and ran with it.
Okay. Who was the receivers coach that you liked so much there when you were at Georgia?
Tony Ball.
How long did he stay all the way through, Rick? Did he stay through?
I had him for 2 years.
Okay. What happened to him?
He ended up, our offensive coordinator got the head coach job at, I think, Colorado State, Mike Bobo.
Bobo, yeah.
Yeah. And Tony Ball ended up going to LSU.
Okay.
And then we had
Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer, yeah. And then we had Brian McClendon, the running back coach, went to receiver.
Okay.
And I had him 2 years. No, I had him 1 year because my senior year, I think he went to South Carolina. And then we had James Coley, who is the OC now at Georgia, who is a receiver coach.
Okay. All right. How's that having a running backs coach transfer to receiver?
He played receiver, so it wasn't even like he was new to the position.
Right. Okay. How was it playing for Kirby Smart? Did you like it?
Yeah, Kirby, cool. Kirby, he all about football. So, football, if you want to be about football, go to Kirby Smart. He all about football.
That dude was serious, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looks serious when he's on the sideline. Like that dude looks.
He definitely into it, like he playing.
Yeah.
Like you going to feel his energy and his passion when he talking to you and when he coaching.
Did you feel like he brought a lot of Alabama to your program?
He definitely did.
Yeah.
Soon as Jeremy Pruitt came over there, that program was already changing.
What did he do? Strength and conditioning?
Defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator, okay. All right.
He came over there, and after that, Kirby Smart came, and he brought some players from Bama, so it was definitely turned into that program.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, from that point, well, your senior year, y'all were 8-5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I saw? Yeah. So you didn't win right away.
Oh, nah.
I mean, you won. You had a winning record, but I mean, it wasn't like you came in and just started turning the program over.
Yeah, basically. That's all it was. He just had to get a year in the system, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was it playing at Athens? How was it playing at that stadium? Sanford Stadium, right?
Yeah, it's about 92,000,
yeah, 92, 93.
somewhere up in there, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool playing in front of 93,000 people.
I love playing in front of a lot of people.
I mean, I bet that was just, at least when you watch it and you see it on TV, it just looks like it looks like it's nuts. I mean, it looks like it's, especially on big time games.
Yeah, this crowd get crazy. Crowd noise is definitely an effect in the game.
Yeah. You say y'all ran a pro style offense. When I was looking at your offense and I was looking at your history there, I didn't see until probably your senior year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are kind of transferring around and shuffling around quarterbacks quite a bit.
Yeah, I had 4 quarterbacks my time at Georgia.
Yeah.
Aaron Murray, Hudson Mason, Grayson Lambert, and Jacob Eason.
So Murray was there your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't there your sophomore year, though.
Mm-hmm. That was his last year, my freshman year.
Okay. And even then, I was looking at his. Well, I guess when you compare it to what it is now, the way everybody throws the ball around, but there, I think it was like 2,000 something yards, a little bit over 2,000 yards. Which nowadays you compare it. I mean, that's really not high compared to what it is nowadays, right? I mean, because y'all have Fromm now.
We had, man, you forgot about the monsters we had in the backfield. That's why.
Well, that's it. You play with Gurley,
Keith Marshall, Chubb, Sony
Mitchell. Yeah,
they getting their touches.
Well, that's why I think I saw one year y'all had it to where I think they ran for more yards than they passed. I think it was your junior year.
Yep.
Junior or senior, I can't remember which one. But, I mean, you had some highlights, though. You had some Oh, you know what? One thing I also forgot to say. You won a state relay in high school, right? 4x100.
Yep.
That sprinter stuff.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's real good. You know what? You wouldn't believe it, but I ran the sprint relay in school.
The sprint relay?
First leg.
Okay.
First leg.
The sprint relay or the 4x1?
4x1.
Okay.
4x1. Well, that's what it is, right?
You got the sprint medley relay, which is like 400, 800, 100, 200. Just like a crazy little relay they got. I didn't know if you were talking about that one.
Yeah. Well, I was the first leg.
Okay.
So I did the first. The
first curve. Yeah,
first
4x1.
curve. Yeah.
Everybody run 100.
Yep. That was back in the day when I used to have some speed. Now I don't have speed no more. So. But that was back in the day, though. So, pro style, you had Mark Rick, freshman, sophomore, and junior year. When you had a coach that leaves like that, are you like, man, Rick is leaving? Or were you like, going to the next coach? Like, what's your feeling when you have a coaching change like that?
I mean,
because he's the one that recruited you. So, I mean, I'm sure you'd have a little bit of disappointment or something like that.
I mean, me personally, I was thinking like, dang, this man got fired. Like, what is he going to do now as far as income for his family? Like, forget football. Like, this man still got to feed his family.
Good for you.
But once we knew he was going to Miami, I'm like, oh, he good.
He went to Miami.
Yeah, he went to Miami
immediately, right?
Yeah, like
or did he have a year off?
He talked to us, and I think the next day he was out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he was going.
Because he was going to coach the bowl game with us, and then when he got the Miami coaching job, he didn't do it.
Was there any part of you that wanted to go with him? Was there any part of that, or you just wanted to stick it out?
No, I was just going to stick it out that time. I already knew what I had to do.
But you had some guys. I don't know. Does he bring that up as far as like, hey guys, anybody want to come with me? Does that conversation happen?
Nah, because that might be an NCAA violation, knowing how that system works.
I don't know. That's man.
Yeah, you know how that go.
Okay, so he's just going. And did you have some guys that leave to go with him, that transferred with him? Do you know?
Nah, he took. I think one of the two of the strength coaches went, but that was it. I don't think no players had transferred to Miami. Not that I remember.
Well, because really at the time, Miami is kind of on. I would probably consider at the time Georgia's a little bit more up here, and Miami was a little bit more down here as far as just talent and team and all that. Like Miami hasn't been feeling it like they have, back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh no, back then Miami.
Miami was dangerous back in the day. Well, and even in the early 2000s, whenever Coker was there, I mean, they won it. I think in 2001, Miami won national. That's when they had Andre Johnson, and they had, I think they had McGahee, Dorsey. Like they had.
Yeah, they were loaded. It was once upon a time I had wanted to go to Miami, but my dad wasn't gonna let me go down there.
No.
Mm-mm.
Why not?
He said I'd get in trouble down there.
Miami's not. I've never been to Miami, so I don't.
You should definitely go.
I don't know. I don't know what's down in Miami.
Definitely go to Miami.
I got to tell you, man. One of the things I noticed when I was looking at your Georgia experience, I'm a UT guy. I love UT. I didn't go though. I mean, I had family that went, and that's a long story. But I went to University of North Texas.
Okay.
And I think your first ever reception at Georgia was a 98-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that play?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? What was the play that y'all called?
Demon.
Mm-hmm. What was your route?
Double post concept.
What was your route you're supposed to run? A post?
Mm-hmm.
And he just hit you on a post, and that was it.
I kid you not. I'm on the sideline talking to a teammate, and the coach is like, Reggie, get in. I was like, all right. They were like, you run a post, and he going to throw it to you. I said, all right. Went out there.
Were you the primary read on that play?
I was the only receiver in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what? Tight ends. It was tight ends.
Okay.
Double
tight end, and you out on the side?
Yeah.
Okay, out wide?
No, it was actually 3 tight ends.
Okay. Wow. Did they run a play fake?
Yeah, it was play fake to Todd Gurley. And I ran a post.
And you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
98. I think I saw it's the longest pass play still in Georgia history. And that was your first catch.
My first catch.
First game, first catch.
Second game, first catch.
Second game, first catch. All right. So, and I saw you were the SEC Freshman of the Week that week.
Mm-hmm.
You had, let me see if I remember, if I have it down here. You had 134 yards for that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good start
Mm-hmm.
as far as starting off at Georgia, that 98 yards. But it was against my alma mater, North Texas, so I'm sure we got our butts beat in that game. I can't remember exactly.
No, Texas had some players. They scored.
Man, I tell you what, they would go into a program, like they would go into school, and like for the first half, it'd be real competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half, they just get
It's just
blown away.
most teams that, like small schools that play big schools, they usually don't have enough depth to keep up.
Yeah.
So they starters in the whole time, so they getting tired while we could just rotate.
Well, and they're hype. I mean,
Yeah.
they're in Athens, Georgia, playing University of Georgia. They're hyped up. They're ready to get into it. And then you get that first half, your adrenaline's pumping, you're ready to go, and then second half you just I can't remember, but I can't remember what y'all beat them, but y'all killed them that game. 10-3 record your first year. 8-5 record your first year. SEC Freshman of the Week. And then sophomore year, I can't remember how many games you played in on your freshman year. Sophomore year, you played in 13 games. Said all your receptions were for first downs your sophomore year. I'm sure I'm probably telling you stuff you didn't know. Did you know any of that?
I had a friend tell me that. I was like, bro, I ain't even know that.
All your receptions were for first downs your sophomore year. You did kickoff and punt returns.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone you like more than the other?
Kick return.
Why kick return?
Because kick return is just I catch the ball and then I just read blocks. Punt return, I got to manage the game. I got to make sure, do I have enough time to catch the ball? If I don't, I got to make sure my teammates don't get hit with the ball. I got to make sure I got enough time to catch the ball and make a move, a fair catch. Like it's a lot that goes into that besides just catching the ball back there and returning it.
Kickoff, you just catch it and run.
Catch it and run. If it's too deep, let it go.
Well, and plus on a punt return, you're back there pretty much all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times? What was your fair catch rule? Did you have a
You don't
rule
feel
for yourself where if you see something or you see guys at a certain distance, you call fair catch?
Basically, as if you don't have time to do anything, or if your teammate about to run into you.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time, you don't know. You focus on the ball now. I'm hoping he don't run into me, but it's a lot that go into it.
I did punt returns in high school. They just told me, they said, because I could catch, so they said, catch it. Just don't worry about running it. Just catch it. Because I don't know. I guess they didn't want me to run with it. They just wanted me to catch it. They said, just catch it. Just call fair catch. That's all we care about, you catching it. When they wanted the punt to be caught, they had me out there. So you had Mason, I think so, Hudson Mason as a QB your sophomore year. Junior year, you played 13 games, top kickoff returner, punt returns, SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. You remember that?
Against Tennessee. Mm-hmm.
You killed it against Tennessee that game.
I ain't kill it enough.
You ran it back for a touchdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
A punt.
Ran a punt back for a touchdown, caught one for a touchdown, and dropped a touchdown.
You dropped a touchdown?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what happened there?
It was too easy. I was ready to turn up in the end zone.
Was it over the shoulder?
Over the shoulder.
Oh, okay.
It was a post.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Were you just thinking about the end zone?
I was in the end zone.
Oh, you were in the end zone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that game, I had 3 catches for 101 yards. Had a punt return for like 75.
Yeah.
I probably finished that game for probably 4 catches, about 160, somewhere up in there.
I think that was the game I saw as far as your all-purpose yards. You had 244 all-purpose yards versus them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good game, man.
It could have been better.
So this was in Tennessee, or was it in Georgia?
In Tennessee.
So you were in Knoxville.
110,000.
What's it like playing there?
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's I love that atmosphere.
Was it just loud the whole game?
Whole game.
Is it intimidating when you play in a situation like that?
It's so loud that we don't huddle.
Y'all just call plays at the line.
They give us signals.
Okay. Does that really matter? Home field advantage. You know how they say home field advantage.
Yeah,
the crowd
helps with momentum.
Does that that really affects as a visiting player? Does that affect you? Like, do you go? No. Does it affect some of the guys that you play with? You think?
I mean, if it does, I wouldn't know. They got a great way of hiding it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But home field, because you hear that a lot when it comes to football, especially.
Mm-hmm.
You going on the road. You go on the road. It's tougher on the road. I mean, is that just what people that don't really play just think, that it's tougher for you on the road? Is it a road game for you the same as a home game, just as far as your concentration, your focus, your energy?
I mean, for me, it's just like any other game. I think some people just make it more complicated than what it is.
Okay.
The only thing different is you don't have that many fans there.
So it's no different for you.
Yeah, I mean, the home team probably get away with more calls, but that's in any sport at any home field.
Think the home field affects the refs' calls?
I'm pretty sure.
I do.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I think so.
But, I mean, at the same time, if we still got to go out there and play. If somebody beating the mess out you, I mean, they can't call a flag on every single play.
I think so. I think when a referee's in a game and they're at a home stadium and they see something that's marginal as far as
stuff like that slide, or they may throw it depending on.
Yeah, because they know what the reaction's going to be.
Yeah.
And they don't want to get – they're human. They don't want to get booed,
That's anybody.
Yeah. I think absolutely it affects it, for sure.
But, coaches always tell you if you beating the mess out of them, then it don't matter what they call. So
That's true. You went to a bowl – did you go to a bowl game all 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
So you play at the you played sophomore year. I didn't get freshman year. Sophomore year, you played Louisville in the Belk Bowl and won it. Penn State in the Tax Slayer Bowl your junior year and won. And then senior year, you played TCU in the Liberty Bowl and won.
Yeah, my freshman year, we played Nebraska.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You played Nebraska.
Right,
y'all lost that game, though, right?
Yeah, we lost that game, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to bowls? Is it is it awesome? Is it
it's
as
a
awesome?
cool experience depending on which one you go to.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at that time, the coaches, they try to make it where it's like, it's business. Like, we still playing football, but most people, they just going to have fun now because they know they're not in the championship. So
I know I had a guy that I played with that went to University of Texas, and they would go to bowl games. When you go to bowl games as a player, is it fun for you to go? Like, do they give y'all merchandise and they give y'all per diems and they give you all kinds of stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fun doing that. I'm sure as a college kid, being able to go and stay and
depending on what bowl you get different kinds of gifts.
Do you remember which bowl was the best as far as the gifts you got?
Nah, we ain't go to no crazy bowl like that. I think we went to the Tax Slayer Bowl, so I think they gave us like a book bag, a duffel bag, and we had some experience on the beach. We went there twice. We went to Tennessee. What was in Tennessee?
Memphis. That's when y'all did the Liberty Bowl, right?
There was the Bass Pro Shop. It's like the biggest Bass Pro Shop or whatever.
Okay.
And
y'all got a bunch of stuff from there?
I mean, they gave us like discounts and stuff. But, if you don't fish and hunt, that's not really your type of store.
No.
And then we went to the Belk Bowl, the one in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty cool because it's the biggest belt, I think, in America. So
yeah, you
get anything from jewelry, cologne, clothes, suits.
Do they lay out the red carpet for you guys? Like anything y'all want, you kind of at your.
And they give you like, I want to say a $300 gift card, and then they give you like another card that give you like 40% off. It's already around Christmas time, so they already got a crazy sale going on. Yeah. So you getting the suits. People getting suits like top, bottom, and shoes for like $100-something.
Wow.
That normally cost like $400-500.
I'm sure as a college kid, that's awesome.
And people love that.
What kind of per diem do they give y'all when you do something like that?
I think we had 2 gift cards. That was $200 when we get there.
What, like a prepaid gift card that you can go? Okay.
I think they gave us like $250, $300 in cash.
But they're feeding y'all too, though, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't that's just really kind of.
And then if you drive compared to you fly, you get more money too. I drove everywhere.
So you didn't fly on
nope.
Okay.
Driving.
When you do that, does this university cover that for you, or is that?
So if you fly, you really don't get much money. But like for instance, when we went to Tennessee, a plane ticket from Tallahassee to Tennessee was like $1,200 or $1,500. So they gave me $1,500 in cash. I filled my truck up and drove.
I mean, why? Yeah, absolutely. Because that's, I mean, how long of a flight is it? I mean, how long a drive was that?
It was like 8 hours.
Heck yeah. I mean, they're basically paying you that to go drive.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they gave you options with that. I thought it was just always everybody.
How far it is, they be like, nah, team, we traveling together.
Okay. So I mean, if y'all were going across on the West Coast,
yeah,
that'd be
you probably
different.
fly as a team.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know they gave you options. That's pretty cool.
Every time I was driving.
I would too.
I was driving to Jacksonville. That's 2 hours away.
Heck yeah. Well, I mean, who takes the plane then?
Some people take a plane. Some people they say I'm not driving.
Even if you have a 2-hour drive.
Man, I'm driving. As soon as the game over, I'm in the truck heading back.
Did you have guys go ride with you, or you just rode by yourself?
One time I did. I had Davin Bellamy ride with me.
Okay.
But that was, I think that was in North Carolina.
Well, that's surprising. I learned something. I didn't know that. I thought it was always we're all gonna do this way, or we're all gonna do that way.
Well, that's how it is at Georgia. It could definitely vary at other schools, but
when you go to bowls, does Nike? Because you are sponsored by Nike, right?
Talking about who?
Nike sponsored Georgia. Like
yeah.
So are y'all getting all kinds of gear from Nike when y'all go to bowls, like new shoes or new shirts?
We'll get like a travel suit, like a Georgia issued team travel suit.
You still have all your stuff from Georgia?
Mm-mm. I gave it to my dad and like cousins and friends and stuff.
You don't keep any of that?
I mean, it was cool while it lasted, but I don't think I'm supposed to be wearing that forever.
Can you get it anytime you want? Like, could you show up at a Georgia game and they be like, "Hey, what's up, Reggie? Here's some Georgia gear."
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
So have you been back since you left?
I went to the year they went to the national championship. I went to Appalachian State game. It was right around the time where preseason ends and the season's about to start. So we have 2 days off, I think.
Yeah.
And I was with the Falcons at the time, so it was only right up the street.
Okay.
So I just drove down and went to a game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to get involved in any of the national championship stuff?
Nah, because
I guess you're playing.
Yeah, we were still playing.
I guess you're playing. All right, man. So senior year, we're gonna go through it all. Senior year, your first year with Kirby Smart. Saw you were fourth on the team, all-purpose yards. You played TCU, like I said, in the Liberty Bowl, and that was kind of a quiet year as far as for you guys, just total. I mean, there wasn't a lot of, like I said, 8-5. You won a bowl game, but it was probably, as far as the senior year, it was probably a disappointing end to how you wanted it to go, right?
Probably third or fourth game of the year, I was like, honestly, I think my way of getting in the league, I just have to run a fast 40.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wasn't going to have the stats that'll be mind-blowing to anybody.
Is that, when you're involved in that and you're realizing when you're playing that I'm not, like you said, I'm not jumping off the page as far as stats go, is that your thought? Like, at that point, you're just trying to figure out what you got to do to get yourself better to make it other ways in the NFL.
Yeah, me coming out at 165, I had to have something.
Was it disappointing for you? Like, did you think at the end of your Georgia career, did you think, were you in a different situation than you were when you went into it? Like, were you thinking you were going to have a bunch of yards and touchdowns?
No, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. I feel like everybody comes in with that mindset. And some people may come and just be like, man, I'm trying to get this degree and be done. I've crossed some people who said that, and that's fine. But me, I was coming in, I'm like, man, I'm trying to help my fam back at home, so I'm trying to leave in 3 if I can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what your goal was when you started, was do what you can to make it to an NFL.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage do you think of guys that start this, when they get into it, what do you think that's their thought too? Like, I'm just going to get in here.
I honestly feel like it's 100%. And then my girlfriend does softball lessons. So sometimes I go and I be able to talk to the parents. And I talked to one guy who was telling me, like, man, like, you blessed because, like, how many, I don't know, people, I'm just going to throw a number out there, like 400,000 kids go to college. And then out of those 400,000, only 1% go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's because, one, people get in trouble and get kicked out or get arrested. So you automatically, most likely, you're done for.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, most people have to drop out to go take care of people back home.
Yeah.
And then people get injured. And then some people just get to the point where they just like, man, football ran its course for me.
What do you think it was at Georgia that happened or didn't happen for you that you didn't end it like you thought you were going to whenever you started? What do you think it was?
I let a lot of outside factors distract me, and really, I wasn't ready to be that guy on campus.
No.
Nah, I definitely wasn't ready. So God knew what He was doing.
So when you say that, when you say God knew what he was doing, what do you think he was setting you up or preparing you for?
If I would have, like, the way I am with my faith now, like, I know for a fact I wouldn't be this close to God if it wasn't for that. I know if I would have just got everything I did in college, if I would have played football the way I know I could play and made the plays I know I could play, I could make, I ain't no telling what I'd be doing right now.
What was it then what was it that changed? Like, what was it, you say you went through this process, and how did going through that get you to that point where your relationship with God is closer?
Man, so every year I was always trying to I'm like, man, I'm going to be the guy this year. I'm going to be the guy this year. And then Kevin Beard, I'm talking about, we had football practice, and we talking about the Bible and everything in the middle of practice.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, like, God put people through certain things because maybe they not ready, or like what he told me, he was like, because God wants your attention. So that's why he's not going to give you what you want until you give him what he wants. So when he said that, like, it always stuck with me. And I definitely, like, just senior year alone, I made a big change.
So was this your junior year this happened?
No, this is my senior year. This is my last year.
Okay. This was before the season or during
this
it?
was during. We were probably like 5 and 6 at the time. Like, and I was just like, man, because he could tell, like, I was just over it. I was like, man, I'm just ready for this year to be over with. And then, I don't know, he just came, and every day that the conversations got deeper and deeper.
Were you looking do you feel like, looking back on it now, do you feel like you were looking for a change? Like, were you looking for something to make a change for you in your life? Or did it just come at you and,
to be honest, I don't know. It's because KB, that's what we call him, Kevin Beard, he came up to me and he was like, something missing. He was like, because you got all the tools to play, but things not falling in right. So it's obviously something that you got to work on. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely God. I'm still working on it now to this day, but it was definitely, I wasn't putting God first in everything. Like, I always was religious, but he wasn't first in everything like he is now.
So that's what I was going to ask. Did you grow up in an environment with church and with God and all that?
Yeah. My first school was a private school. It was a Christian school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it took you until you got to college to get to a point where you really started to pay attention and take that serious?
I don't know. That's God and his timing, I guess. I mean, KB, everything just happened in perfect timing.
Did you know whenever he brought all this up, did you say, this is the point where I'm going to make a change from this point out? Or did you kind of evolve into that after that conversation?
It was pretty much both. Because even when I watched KB, like, I've never seen KB mad. Not saying that he didn't get mad, but I would never see him get mad because he was quality control. You may know what that is. Quality control, like you're a general assistant. Right. And I'm talking about they used to treat him like dirt. Like he didn't matter. But he every day he laughed with us, played with us, joked with us. Like joking, like they say something crazy, he just smiled and just be like, yes sir, and just keep it moving. Like, and he was like, man, I know what God doing with my life. There's nothing that they could say to me that could hurt me because my life has already been planned out by God.
That's good.
And I was 20 at the time, 21 when I heard this. I'm like, dang, like I need to be like that. Right. Like I need to be where, no matter what somebody say to me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, obviously, I'm nowhere near how KB is, but the way he was, I'm just like, bro, I need to get closer to God, not just for that, because one, we only here for a short amount of time, so I need to fulfill my purpose here. Yeah. So that's why I feel like all that just happened in perfect timing.
That's good, man. That's real good. All right, well, Reggie, I hope you don't mind, man, but my co-host, God, it really, I mean, he already bothers me enough as it is, but then he shows up in a Texans jersey. We got my boy Brandon with us.
Hey, I had to represent, man.
Hey, represent.
We're in H-Town, bro.
You got it. Well, that's true. But I mean, you got a Cowboy fan and you got a Cowboys player. Yeah. And you wearing a Texans jersey.
Well, they didn't have a Cowboys jersey in a real man size. That's the problem.
They didn't have an extra. I
didn't want to come in here with a schmedium.
Thank you for not doing that.
It's
that
different
ugly.
on the practice field with your belly hanging out, but You can't walk around like that.
You play football, right? You play football in high school.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have. I mean, look at you.
I was a little more in shape. I mean, when you work out 2 days, three times a day, you have no choice.
Yeah.
You know.
How much did you weigh in high school?
When I graduated, I was 250, and I'm 295 right now.
Oh, awesome.
I broke 300.
Nice.
Hello.
You're losing some weight. I like that.
Mhm.
Good job, man. I'm proud of you.
This is what I say. Like, it's not cool to be over 300 pounds unless you're in the NFL. You know?
I hear you on that one.
You know? Or like a sumo wrestler.
Yeah,
One of
that's
those
right.
two.
So Brandon's going to get involved with us now while we talk about the NFL because Brandon really doesn't know. You don't know much about college football, right?
No, not really. You went to Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a Bulldog?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Okay, I'm proud of you for knowing that. I didn't know you know that.
Well, I just remember when UT
yeah.
and Georgia played.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Dude,
Talk about
that
that.
bull, what's it? You're a UT fan. What's the name of the mascot?
Bevo.
Bevo went after the
Uga.
little Bulldog. Y'all's,
Yeah,
is there a name?
Try to tear him up.
Is there a name for the Bulldog?
Uga.
Ugga, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ugga,
That's right. Uga.
whatever number they on now.
He
Yeah.
was just chilling on the sidelines, like no big deal. Just kind of like sniffing around, looking at the Longhorn.
Yeah.
Boy, that Longhorn broke free from that grip from
Yeah.
the trainer or whatever, and went right after him.
Well,
I
it was
felt
dumb
bad.
because Bevo was sitting there. Bevo was just chilling out,
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
out, and they walked the dog over.
That's
to
what it
Bevo.
was. Yeah.
And Bevo wasn't having
He
that.
was not having that.
It was a sign of things to come that night for the University of Georgia. Sorry, man.
Hey, that's-
Sorry. UT had
It is
to.
what it is.
UT had to put it in them. But all right, so we're gonna talk about the NFL now.
Definitely.
You go undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
You signed as an unrestricted free agent, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a tryout.
With the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that process go for you when it comes through the draft, when it comes through the trying out, when it comes, how was that whole process?
From beginning of the draft.
Well, just, when you graduate and you are going through the workouts and you are setting up to try out for teams, did you have any indication kind of where you were going to be at?
Mm-mm.
No? Like nobody said, hey, man, you're probably going to be in the 4th, 5th, 6th. Like nobody gave you any indication there?
I already knew I was going undrafted.
So you knew whenever the draft started.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you feel that?
I didn't have enough stat power to get drafted. I mean, if I'd have got drafted, it would have been because I ran a great 40 in like the 7th round.
What was your 40?
My best was a 4.29.
Was that at your pro day or was that at your combine?
That was.
Did
when
you do combine?
I didn't do combine. I did
Okay.
pro day. So
Okay.
when I was training with Bomberitos in South Florida,
Mm-hmm.
like he trains probably like 30% of the guys there. He trains a lot of people that goes to the combine.
Okay.
And they actually let him go to the combine. He's on the field with the players, like,
Oh, okay.
working with their times and stuff.
I got
like
you.
recording their times and stuff.
Yeah.
And so everything down there is legit, like the L drill, the 3-cone, the 40 and everything.
Yeah.
So my first time I was like, when I first went down, I was like, let me just run a 40 to see where I'm at. I clocked 4.35. So I was like, okay, before I leave here, I'm going to run 4.2 something, even if it's a 4.29. So like probably a week before I left, we did testing again. I ran 4.29.
So you ran that
lazy.
consistently.
Yeah. And then at pro day, they got me everywhere from 4.25, 4.27, 4.28, 4.29, 4.31.
That's moving. I mean, just so everybody knows that's watching or listening, 4.25, that's moving. I mean, the
What's
fastest.
the fastest? Yeah,
I think the
it's gotta be
fastest
that.
at the combine was 4.2.
That was John Ross.
4.22. John Ross.
Did you run track in college?
Georgia won't let me.
Georgia wouldn't let him run track.
Oh, so it's just football.
Just
You couldn't do
football
nothing.
and
A lot of programs are like that.
The one year that they let me run, I was working out like 2-3 times before I went to track practice.
Yeah.
So I'm running at 6 a.m., lifting at 7.
Yeah, you're tired. I mean,
And then going to track practice.
yeah,
I got tendonitis in both knees.
yeah.
Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
Then
But-
they wanted me to run after spring football, but once spring football ends, track is in SECs or their conference track meets.
Yeah.
People I already missed indoor season. People already clocking 10-0s, 10-1s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's my first meet. Like come on, like that's not realistic.
Yeah.
I don't even know why they even tried that.
Because, I mean, you're trying to catch up at that
Yeah,
point.
it's catch up the
Yeah.
rest of the time, and then I missed everything. They running year round, and I'm starting in what is it, April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The season end in June, July, whenever the Nationals are.
Were you running hundreds? Is that what you were doing?
I ran 100, 200, and 4x1.
So fastest 100 time.
10-4 in high school.
Damn, that's moving. 200.
21, 23.
I ran the 200 once in high school.
Made you run.
So I always say I wish I would have stuck with two things: throwing the discus.
Mm-hmm.
I always got first. I always got the points.
If I had two choices, it would have been shot put or discus. So I'm 50%.
I don't know why
right.
I couldn't shot. I don't know what was wrong with me in the shot put. But the discus I could throw. My senior year, I dislocated my shoulder a bunch of times, so I couldn't throw because it's football season in the fall and then track in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But and then the other thing is, I wish I would just, instead of trying to be a hero on the offensive line, just been a deep snapper. Do you have a plug in the Cowboys so I can at least let me try
Hey,
out?
I'm
They've
not
got
gonna lie to
JP
you.
Lattisour. He's been on the Cowboys as a deep snapper for a long time. You would by no means get that job.
He needs a backup
I'm just letting you know.
in case he gets hurt. Because first of all, special teams at practice, I don't know if it's like this in the pros, but it's just like, all right, punters, kickers, and deep snappers over there in the corner of the field, and we're just chilling. It's
That's
just
what
like
they do, right?
vacation.
Special team like 10 minutes.
They just
And
chill
the
out
whole
over
press.
there.
Bro, that would be the easiest check to collect. Every
Yes.
week.
Why do you think kickers, deep snappers, and punters stay in the NFL for 20 years?
Oh, I know. Look at
Only playing about 5 to 10 plays a
yeah.
game.
I mean, I'll be on the offensive line and get hit every single play.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Getting rolled up on and double teamed and
Oh,
trapped.
man.
Yep.
Man,
I salute them boys in the trenches.
All right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're trying out. So you ran a 4.29. When you run a 4.29, what are your thoughts when you run that? Are you saying, okay, I'm gonna
When I
be
ran
noticed?
that, I'm like, I'm gonna at least get into mini camp.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. When you are going through the process, you get contacted. So
Through your agent.
what teams reached out to you?
Man, I can't even remember. It was none of the teams that I'm with now.
No.
None of them. Atlanta had like a local workout, so it's like all the colleges in Georgia that go
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And I went there and they liked me, so that's when they brought me into mini camp. Because once I ran that time at Pro Day, the coach was like, "Man, you fast." He was like, "I ain't gonna lie to you. You weighed in at 159." He was like, "If you couldn't run, you would have been done. But the way you running, like you definitely gonna be in our camp."
Are they telling you at that time, we're not going to draft you, but we're going to try to get you? Like, are they setting you up for that, or they're just saying, "Hey, we really like you"?
I mean, you usually know. Like most people know if they're gonna get drafted or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that vibe a long time ago.
What kind of vibe? Like, when you're saying you caught the vibe, what kind of vibe is it?
Things just not going as planned. Like, in order to get drafted, you gotta have stats.
Yeah.
You don't have stats, you already behind the 8 ball.
Okay.
And I'm undersized, so
What's your playing weight now?
right now I'm like 5'11", like between 165, 168.
Okay. What's been your heaviest that you've played?
Heaviest I ever weighed in my life was 172.
Okay. Wow. How long ago was that?
My junior year in college.
Okay.
So it's not a real. I mean, my dad ran track professional, and when he was running, he weighed like my weight now.
Yeah.
So I'm not really expecting to be 5'11", 185-pound receiver. Like, that's just not my body type.
Are teams trying to get you at a particular weight, or you
They
just
tried, and it just doesn't stick. Like, some people don't understand that. I'm like, my body just won't hold that weight.
Yeah. What goal do they have for you? Do they give you a goal?
One team tried 185.
185?
I was nowhere near that weight.
That's crazy.
No, there's no way. People don't understand that when because they track how much calorie and stuff you lose. I'm losing 5,000 calories at practice to 7,000.
They keep track of that.
Yeah. So if I'm losing that much calories, in order to get back to where I was before practice, I got to eat 5,000 calories. So if you go to Chick-fil-A and you get your number one, it's approximately 700 calories. So let's just give it a rough estimate of 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
You telling me I got to eat 5 Chick-fil-A meals to
Right.
get back to where I started, not to gain weight, but to get back to where I started to gain weight.
Right.
That's unrealistic.
Wow.
You eat one Chick-fil-A meal, you done, and that's 700 calories.
How do they know that you're losing that much?
And they got all these little straps we wear on under our pads, or they have it in our shoulder pads.
And they're giving you a report at the end of practice?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a printed out report that you read and you look at, or they just come and
They
tell
have
you?
it printed out, and to certain people they would go like they'll be like, oh, he's running too much, or stuff
Wow.
like that. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty specific.
Have you tried drinking a case of beer?
Nah, I don't drink beer.
I
Man.
mean, if it's 5,000 apparently, because I need to do the opposite. So I mean, I think that's something I can help you with.
Yeah, Brandon. Hey, you need to get some weight, Brandon. He's got.
I mean, have you been to any like? You gotta go to Colombian, Mexican restaurants.
Man, I eat
5 different carbs on one plate.
I eat. My brother
your
Muhammad
metabolism.
Sanu for the Falcons could vouch for that, because I was staying with him when I was with the Falcons, and he
Yeah.
had a chef.
Oh, okay.
He had a chef come there to cook, and I'm eating. Like he know, like even the receiver coach was like, man, this your roommate. Like, why he can't get no weight? And Muhammad Sanu was like, man, that little man can eat. Like I know, cause I'm the one feeding him.
Yeah.
Like I'm eating, it just don't stick. That's why I just be like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I could play football and make plays, but
Yeah.
the weight part, it's just
Man, that's a good problem to have. though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, at
I'm
the end
sure
of
a
the
lot
day,
people-
your metabolism's fast, man. So what can you do?
nothing.
And you're working out all the time. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not doing. I'm not working out 3 times a day.
Yeah,
or
that's
else,
it.
or
That's
I'd
it.
be about 180.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. You're right. That's all you got to do, man. Yeah, do that. Let me know how that goes. That's all you got to do. Just go work out.
So speaking of that, I had to ask you, man. Like, how good the food's got to be amazing, though, right? Like, how is the food? Like
I mean, it's,
At training camp.
they got everything you want, everything you need.
because like
Literally.
the Texans talk about they had their nutritionist. They have a new one now that
Mhm.
came last season, and he's real like strict on what everybody eats, and I don't know, just the portion sizes and this and that. Is it the same thing? I mean, is that like a big deal? Because I mean, they're not gonna just have fried chicken and macaroni and
Oh
cheese.
no, it's
'Cause, like
if-
Luby's.
like if you, I mean, from what I've seen, like if people are close to like a weight that they're not supposed to be at, like they'll make sure like you can't eat too much of that, or you gotta watch this, you gotta watch that.
Or like certain players, they'll be like, he's on a certain diet or something like that.
Yeah, and most people in the league, they know like, okay, I can't eat too much of this because I'd be overweight, and you get fined if you're overweight.
Yeah. There'll probably a lot of like meal replacements and shakes too, huh, and stuff like that.
Yeah, but shakes, that's not the way to go. I'm not shake. Well, at least for me, it's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Cause I had a shake that had 2,000 calories in it, and I would drink it and I'd be full, cause I just drank 2,000 calories. And now you expect me to go eat a meal on top of that? Your body just won't let you do it,
Yeah.
or you're gonna feel sick.
Yeah.
Is that what your problem is? You just drink too much shakes?
Yeah, it was like, I'm gonna drink this Slim Fast with this burger, like it's a chocolate shake,
And they equaling out. That's what
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the problem, right? Just cut out on the shakes.
I'm not a sweets guy, but I mean, I'm telling you, man. Did I tell you I got food poisoning from Popeyes the other day?
Yes, but we don't have to talk about
I'm
that
just
right now.
I'm just saying.
We don't have
In
to talk about
general,
that.
I make some bad decisions. I don't even know why I did that. I was not supposed to be eating that.
No,
My doctor doesn't watch our podcast, so it's all good.
but I did. I got a message from it. He said, I mean, you were like non-contact for
Dude,
2 days.
I thought I was gonna die. That's why.
Yeah.
I seriously, I should probably have it more often because I didn't eat or drink anything for like 2 days. My girl was even like, "Oh, your stomach's flat," and I was like,
No,
"Well,"
come on now. She didn't say that, did she?
she literally did. I was like, "Well, first of all, you're blind. Need some new glasses.
All right.
It's flat-er."
Let's get back to Reggie now.
My bad.
It's all good. All right. So you're on Atlanta's team.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on making the squad?
Man, I was just at that time. Once I actually signed a contract, because I was a tryout. So when you're a tryout, you just get one sheet of paper that's basically saying you're a tryout and you are here. Basically, if you get hurt, that's you on your own. That's basically what the paper says. It's like a waiver. So when I actually got the contract, at that point, I was like, man, if I make the team, that's great. And practice squad is good too. Either or, I'm okay with. So that's
Yeah.
what I was trying to do, and just trying to get film. So if Atlanta didn't pick me up, I can go to another team.
Is that what you're doing at that point? Are you preparing?
basically what it is.
Or you're preparing yourself just to make good film for other people?
That's basically what it is.
So you're not even thinking about necessarily making a squad. I mean, of course that's your goal, but I mean, you're also thinking about that.
You do know, like, if they don't keep you, like, and the coaches will tell you, like, just because you don't make it here don't mean you can't make it somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, you watch that. Well, I'm sure you do, but people watch the Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks is that's their line.
Right, and that's what they do. So I saw you were waived on 9/2. So is that right when the season's about to start? Like you were one of the last cuts. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
I got cleaned off waivers to Cleveland.
How's that conversation?
Talking about when you get waived?
Yeah. Whether they just is it like what they show on
when
you get waived? Like, is that what they do on the Hard Knocks? I think it's
pretty much how they do on the show. They'll be like, Coach want to talk to you in his office. Bring your iPad or playbook.
Yeah.
You go up there and they'll be like, hey, you know, if you did good, you did good. If you weren't developing how they wanted you to, they'll tell you, you know, you're not developing. But they told me I lost in the numbers game. So what people don't know is you don't have 53 people on the active roster.
Right.
And the way you get your money is by being on the active roster. So you could sign a 5-year, $150 million contract, but if you don't make the active roster, you don't get it. But I mean, that's not gonna happen. But even like from me, I signed a base contract, but I didn't make the active roster, so I didn't get that money.
Okay.
So that's how you make the money. But when they tell you you lose a numbers game, for instance, I think they keep like 5 or 6 O linemen, 5 or 6 receivers, depending on where you are, 6, 7 DBs, maybe 2 quarterbacks, maybe 3. You know, and all those positions add up to 53. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, only 46 dress out. Mm. So once you make the 53 man, all right, you trying to be a guy who could dress out.
Right.
So it's a lot of things that go into it, but once they tell you, you know, you lost in the numbers game, but we're going to try to bring you on practice squad. So, you know, you happy to hear that because practice squad is they develop you and they could move you up if they have an injury, or another team could claim you off practice squad.
Right.
So, but you got to clear a 24-hour period once you get waived.
Mm-hmm. So
the 23rd hour and the 59-minute, Cleveland Browns claim you off waivers.
Wow. That's crazy.
So at 11:59, and I cleared at 12, they claim me.
Okay.
So I went to Cleveland, and I was there for 3 weeks, and then they released me. I didn't dress out. I was supposed to dress out 1 week, and they ended up cutting me that Friday because they told me, you're new right now, and we need somebody who knows the playbook who can help us win this division game. And I was like, all right. And then I packed my stuff up and left.
What, did they bring somebody from
It was somebody that was there before. I think he was there the year before.
Okay.
And they had brought him back.
Is this when they have Hugh Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And at that point, is Landry on that team at that point?
Mm-mm.
Jarvis Landry? He's not on that team?
Nah.
So
it was Corey Coleman, Kenny Britt, Rashard Higgins, who they have now.
They didn't have I can't remember his name from Baylor.
Corey Coleman. Yeah, they had him.
Well, no, there was another one. I can't. Gordon. They didn't have Josh Gordon, did they, on the squad at that time?
I think he was suspended then.
That was the time he was suspended.
I think so.
Okay. Did you think you had an opportunity to really make that team, get on and play when you got there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work out, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You from there, then you go back to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think when you go back to Atlanta?
I went back to Atlanta. I was like, I already know what to expect here, so you're not comfortable, but you're comfortable with the situation you're in.
Playbook, the coaches, the system, all that.
Instead of going to a whole new state and have to get an apartment, ship vehicles up there.
That's what I was going to say. You were already living in Atlanta at this time, right?
Basically, because Georgia was 45 minutes from Flowery Branch,
right.
So yeah.
And how does that work? And when you're making those moves like that, as far as your residential situation, like, do you actually have a place that's yours at that point, or are you just kind of wherever?
Like when you first go to a new team?
Yeah, but I mean, when you're going from Atlanta to Cleveland to
they put you in a hotel for a couple of days, and then after a couple of days, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find your own spot to pay for the hotel on your own.
Okay.
And all that goes into play.
You go to Atlanta, trying out there. Matt Ryan. How was it catching the ball from Matt Ryan?
It's cool. Matt Ryan, he all about business. So if you're not on your plays, he will definitely let it be known.
Is he doesn't seem like it. Is he a barker? Like, is he like getting on you, or is he just real kind of be here, be there.
Be here, be there. And then if he does get on, just right then and there, and then he'll be like, let's go. And then he gone.
So he's a supportive guy. I mean, he's somebody that points you in the right direction and get you going.
So, yeah, but then it's sometimes where he be like, hey, you're a pro. Be a pro. You're supposed to know this.
Yeah.
So I just try to never be that guy.
Do you like that? I mean, how do you like for somebody to react to you as far as on a quarterback position and how they treat you?
Just come talk to me. Like, you don't have to make a big scene in front of the coaches and all that.
Yeah.
Because some people, that's disrespect. Like,
sure.
Now it's like I'm a grown man like you are. I pay taxes just like you do. So like
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like respect.
Yeah.
Like talk to me like you got respect, because
Right.
obviously you're in a higher position than me, but you want to talk to a random person outside of football like that.
Yeah.
And it's like dropping you in the grease too. It's
Yeah,
like, don't call me out in front of everybody. Like,
yeah,
pull me
Right.
to the side or whatever.
So that's another thing that, and some people will tell you straight up they don't care. Like, listen, bro, they be like, bro, this don't let football get beside you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, some people brought up different. They not with that talking crazy.
Right.
And some people got to realize that.
You know, you always hear these stories about how all these guys are, and that's why I wanted to have these conversations with you, because it's different whenever you're actually involved in it and doing it. And when you see a guy like Mike Ryan, he looks real stoic. Like, he looks like a dude who just he's not screaming and hollering and pointing and being crazy like that.
He'll pull you to the side and let you know, or if it's like in the middle of the play, he'll come give you his like constructive criticism, and then that's that.
Okay. You're at Atlanta. I wanted to ask you, what's a reserve future contract? What is that? I saw that they signed you to something like that.
Basically, we signed you to a 2-year deal, and that's that.
Do you see any money from that contract? No?
Nope.
So what are they signing you for? What's the purpose of that?
Basically, you're on contract. So, like, if you make the team, you make this. It's just like any other contract.
But at that point, you're on the practice squad, though.
No, because once they sign you to reserve, that's when they sign. That's when, like, it'll probably be like 50, 40 players on the team, and then they go through the draft, and then they bring it to 90.
Okay.
And then you go on a training camp with 90.
Okay.
And then after preseason, they cut it down to 53. And then 10 people go on practice squad. So it's a total of 63 players on the roster.
Okay. All right. You do that, then you go to Philly, and you're on the practice squad at Philly. How was it at Philly?
Philly was cool. And, I mean, I knew a couple of the people there. And it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out.
Numbers game. So you leave Philly, and you go to Dallas. Greatest place on earth. Which is where you're at right now. What's your feelings on Dallas? What's your feelings on?
Dallas is a cool spot. It was different going from, obviously, organization, but Dallas is a cool spot.
What's that star like?
The star is cool, and Dallas got a big fan base. Not saying other teams don't, but like from what people are telling me, they got a big fan base. So like if you go, no matter where you go, it's always gonna be Dallas fans there. So you can go to California and do a signing, and you're gonna make good money out there. You know, if you get to that part of your career where you can go places and sign stuff for money.
Right.
Even if you go to California, you're gonna make good money because there's gonna be fans there. I say Dallas fans everywhere. So, I mean, if you're looking at it as that for a business standpoint, then that's good.
Well, I mean, when you're the greatest organization on the face of the earth, I mean, you're going to have a lot of fans at a lot of places.
Well, one thing, too, is like, you know, say, for example, San Antonio, El Paso, the Valley, all those smaller cities don't have a home team. They're all Cowboys fans. I mean, that's what's crazy. Like, Texas is so big, and then Houston didn't have a team for a long time. When the Oilers left, even Houston, people that lived in Houston became Cowboys fans. So now in Houston, there's a lot of division between the Cowboys and the Texans, but I just never jumped on that bandwagon personally. But a lot of people did because you're a big football fan. You don't have a home team to root for, and at least they're from Texas, right? But I think Jerry Jones does such a good job of marketing that team. I mean, aren't they the most profitable team in the NFL?
Yeah, highest valued franchise in the world, sports franchise in the world. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, like highest valued all over the world. What do you think your thoughts are on making a squad for Dallas?
I mean, I feel like I got a pretty good shot. I mean, one thing that sticks out with me is speed, so I just try to show them that every day. And then if that can get me on the team, cool. And then that's really what I'm sticking with right now. I'm trying to stick here because, get my career started instead of still bouncing around.
Well, I think from what I know, at least, of the Cowboys, because I know a lot about them, I feel like you're in a fairly good spot for you, because I don't think the Cowboys really have anybody like you. They don't really have anybody that can beat people over the top like you can.
Yeah, I mean, we got some people who can run. They still got Tavon Austin. He can run. Amari Cooper can run for a big dude. People don't know that. Amari Cooper pretty solid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know what you're talking about as far as Austin goes, but I don't know. Austin's kind of a tweener as far as his position. I mean, they put him at running back. They put him at wide receiver.
He all around. He can do it all.
But you've got Cooper, Cobb, and then you've got
Gallup.
Gallup, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Gallup. And then it's kind of open, right?
Yeah, and then they still got, they still had Noah Brown, who played last year. He was a big part of the team. And they got Randall Cobb now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they got players. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle. It's just like any training camp when you're trying to make it. If you ain't got that big contract, it's a fight every day.
And you got to make it not only on the offensive side, but I'm sure you got to do special teams too.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have you doing a lot on the special teams right now?
Yeah, pretty much. All 4 phases.
So you're out there, kickoff,
Mm-hmm.
punt, everything.
Yep.
When you're doing this kind of workouts like you're doing now, do they have you in categories of, are they just kind of mixing things up? Do they have the first team, the second team? Are they trying people out in
They
different?
mixing everything up. Putting
Okay.
people at different spots, see who can do what, who could be where, everything.
Do they have you in the slot, or do they have you out wide whenever they put you in as far as receiver goes?
And all of the above.
They have you playing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the formation will put you in different places.
Man, I saw you got Cole Beasley's old number 11.
And to be honest, Tavon told me I got that number. I was in Georgia working out. It was off season.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was still at Georgia, so I was with her during the off season. And he had FaceTime and he was like, "Boy, you got that number 11." And I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah, they had gave you number 11." I mean, I was gonna ask for it if I could get it, but when he told me that, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, so you just got it. You didn't
I just
ask
got
for
it. I ain't even asked for it.
Why were you going to ask for it?
I mean, I just wanted a lower number. But I think I had 18, I think I had 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just wanted number 11. I don't know. I mean, if I didn't get it, I wasn't going to be upset or anything. But when he told me that, I was like, okay, well, that worked out.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, Cole Beasley went away, and now you got
awesome.
Now you got it.
So training camp's next week, right? Or how does that work?
It starts 26th.
So do you actually report that day? I mean, how does that work?
Well, if you fly with the team, they leave the 25th, but camp start the 26th. Everybody going to be in Cali on 25th.
Okay, gotcha.
Oxnard, California.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your first time being out to Cali like that?
No, I've been to California before, but I ain't been to Oxnard, so I guess you could say that, yeah.
What's the guys told you about Oxnard? I mean, it looks beautiful whenever I see it.
They said it was cool. They said it's not bad. So
it's not going to be as hot as it would be.
Yeah, it can't be. Yeah.
But I mean, I've been training here in the heat, so it wouldn't be nothing different. Like, I literally train at 3:00.
Here in Houston?
To purposely
Obviously.
be in the heat.
In the humidity?
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to Houston?
My girl's family from here.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You know what part of Houston?
Santa Plantation, Missouri City. Or
Mo City?
City, as they call it.
Mo City, baby. Oh. I like that.
What's your goal? I mean, I know your goal is to make the team, but what do you, when you go to training camp in a position like you are to make the squad, what do you like? What's your thought process?
Just make plays and just do my assignment. Really do the small things, because big things are nothing but a bunch of small things on top of each other. So focus on the small things. Just play ball and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to think too much about it.
Not because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I feel like it's going to be a good team, and I think you have opportunity to be a part of. I mean, I'm rooting for you, man, because
I appreciate that.
I think the squad. I think the team's going to be really good this year. I'm hoping they are, and hope you get to be a part of it, because I think it could be good.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta take it day by day and just keep working hard.
Were you in the practice squad last year?
Mm-hmm.
What's it like? I mean, you catch any passes from old Dak?
Not last year. I'm just not catching passes from that. I'm just not catching passes from Dak now. Last year, because during that time during the season they working on games, so they trying to work on routes. They gonna run in the game. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
How is it with Dak? Do you feel like? I mean, how is he? Because you always hear all these things from people that say doesn't have a good deep ball, doesn't make decisions well. All these different, like when you're in your experience in dealing with them, when you hear that kind of stuff and then you're actually on the field playing with them, I'm sure it's a much different experience.
I mean, if you're not out there, you're not really going to know, because when they say he don't have a good deep ball, they probably talking about one bad throw that he threw compared to how many passes he throw a year.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's not even realistic, because if his deep ball was so terrible, he wouldn't be hitting Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup down the field. It don't even make sense.
Right.
And some people, they emotionally attached. They're not really fans. They just, when you winning, you winning, and then when you bad, they talking bad about you. Like they never was a fan. Like, you know what I mean? It just, that's just what come with the game. But I mean, that a ball player.
It seems like all the guys on the team love him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's a ball player.
It seems like he's got good repertoire with everybody, and everybody likes playing with him.
Mm-hmm. He gonna tell you what his thought process is, and he gonna be an athlete, and he gonna let you be an athlete.
Man, I don't really got anything.
You know, I remember. I mean, I met Dak once at a Super Bowl party when we had the Super Bowl here in Houston. Atlanta was here, and it was the day of the Super Bowl, and it was like this event where there was a big tailgate party hosted by Guy Fieri or whatever. So what they did was they would like invite, these promoters were smart. They paid guys that were like maybe on the practice squad or stuff like a couple grand to show up. And then that way when like the big time players text them like, hey, where you at? Super Bowl, it's everybody's in party mode that weekend, And so I don't know who it was, but hey, we're here at this such and such party. It was across from Energy Stadium, and Dak shows up, and the place went nuts. He had like 5-6 HPD officers with him.
Fans get crazy.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. You could barely, be around them, but it was real cool.
You need that security. I know. My girl dad told me when he was holding his daughters, and a fan tried to reach for his daughters. Like, wow, that's a big no.
Wow.
Like, we gonna have an altercation for the game. You reach for mine. I don't even know you like that. You can't be touching my kids.
People are nuts, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what possessed you to even think of something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Did you, when you were in Atlanta, did you interact at all? I mean, I'm sure you did. But Jake Matthews.
Yeah, Jake, cool. I was there right when he got paid, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was. Hey, I'm proud for him. I'm happy for anybody who get paid.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why we here. Take care of your family and
that's right.
Help others.
Dude's a beast. His dad, because he went to Elkins, which is where I went to in Mo City. And
okay, I didn't know he's from Texas.
Yeah, he's right there. I don't know if his family lives in Siena, but Elkins is right near Siena Plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad's real active in the community. Bruce Matthews played for the Oilers. His dad did, and he ended up, because he has several sons playing for Elkins.
The whole family.
And he went and basically signed up to be a coach, and then had to teach an elective, because as a coach, you have to teach an elective. Like, if I was going to Elkins at that time, I would have been starstruck every day in class. Like, I don't care if it's pottery class, I'm in it. Mr. Matthews, Coach Matthews, I got a question. So when you were, with the Oilers, Warren Moon, because Warren Moon's sons went to school with us too, and man, it's just a lot of history. But to see him when that year that Atlanta was on Hard Knocks, he came down to they came to practice with the Texans during training camp, and J.J. Watt basically lined up against him like every play, and Bruce Matthews was there. Yeah, and it was just, and then I mean at the end of practice, J.J. Watt's like, man, that dude's a beast. He's gonna be a bad dude. In the league.
Those offensive linemen, like Tyron Smith, man, that dude is a giant, isn't he?
Yeah, he one of a kind.
That dude, like 6'6", 6'7", and 300 something pounds. I mean, that's a big dude.
And be able to move.
And can
quick.
move.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. Can move too. Well, man, I think we're coming up on it, because I know you got places you want to be. I do want you to talk about, though. We were talking a little bit about just so people know about pay. So man, you get paid if you're in Madden. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it's like I think it was this past year, the year before, it was like 18,000. Like, man, that's a free check. I don't care. I reach
That's just the check that you get if you're in the game.
Yeah, it's a check you get, 18,000. People say that's they play money. They just do whatever they want with that money.
That's that mama don't know money.
That's all that. My financial advisor don't know money. All that. I mean, you deserve it. I mean, you're on a video game.
Yeah,
they gonna make tons of money off of it. So,
man, I can't wait for you to be in Madden, man. You can choose, you get yourself. Can you imagine that playing Madden?
Is that a big deal with the guys? Because it seems like it is. Their rating. Like I see a bunch of guys making a big deal about their rating.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I got friends who tagged me and said my speed was a 94. So I was like, okay, well, hey, that's what's up.
They put your speed at 94. I know DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't happy with his Madden rating.
What'd they give him?
I think they gave him a 90. I think something like that. I mean, he was not. I know that he was on social media talking about he didn't like his rating. I know a lot of dudes weren't.
I mean, the way he practiced and work hard, he want to be the best. He want to be the best in everything. So he probably want that 99.
They had four guys 99. I think they had.
That's why I'm wearing this jersey today, baby.
What?
D-Hop.
He didn't have.
Hopkins is 99
that's
overall.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
Hopkins
overall.
was 99. Yes.
He definitely is 99 overall.
What do you think about Hopkins? Y'all play the same position.
Man, that boy got hands. Like,
I heard his hands are huge.
That's an easy target for his QB.
Yeah.
He just throw it up and he going to go get it. He catching it between his legs.
Yeah,
one hand,
for real.
Hey.
That's the one thing I will say, man. That dude can catch.
It don't matter.
That dude can
it
catch.
Don't matter. He catching it. So.
He's one of those four people.
Yeah, he's one of the four. You think he's got
I think Gurley was one.
No, I don't think Gurley was 99.
99?
Nuh-uh.
Oh.
I know Robert Ingram, linebacker. I think. Am I saying his? I think that's his name. I know he was 99. I think they were all. Oh, Mack was 99. Khalil Mack was 99. But you say that you say Deshaun or I'm sorry,
DeAndre Hopkins.
Hopkins. See, I don't know nothing about Texas. Hopkins. Do you think he's the best receiver in the NFL? Hopkins.
He definitely in the conversation. There's a lot of people that can be in that conversation.
Yeah.
But if you want to go stat wise, I mean, you got Jerry Rice. Yeah, everybody forgot about Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
He did the 2001 season.
Yeah.
I mean, Julio was the fastest to reach 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
AB is AB.
Antonio,
I mean, it's a lot of people.
Antonio Brown. Do you remember? I know we got, but just real quick, remember David Boston? Do you remember that?
David Boston.
Yeah.
I played at Georgia, right?
I don't.
He played at Arizona.
No. I'm thinking about a whole different person.
No, David Boston. Yeah. David. I don't think he would. You got to remember, man. He's 23 years old, man. He's not going to remember David Boston. David Boston was at Ohio State.
Ohio State. He went to Humble. Yeah.
I was thinking about the center that played for the Patriots, Andrew. We call him Boss. Yeah, he went undrafted. Got him a Super Bowl the next year.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, man, I told you I'd get you out of here.
Andrew, that's his name.
Okay. I told you I'd get you out of here, man. So again, I want to thank you, man, for coming on. I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm rooting for you, man. I don't care if you make it on the Cowboys or who you man. I'm just rooting for you because you're a real down to earth guy. I love your vibe. You're humble and you want to work, man. And we're just talking for the first time, and that's just what I get from you. And so I'm rooting for you, man.
I appreciate that.
I want it to be on the Cowboys. I want you to be on the Cowboys so I can root for you. But
need to be there. You, my girl, myself, everybody.
But I'll root for you no matter where you go.
Okay,
so
I appreciate that.
You already got the name, Reggie Davis. That's already like a famous athlete name.
Yeah, Reggie Davis. There you go.
I appreciate that.
Get your number 11 Reggie Davis jersey.
Like Coming to America, they're talking in the barbershop like, "Oh, Reggie Davis, you remember? you remember the stats, Reggie? Oh, Reginald."
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up, man.
Are you?
I'm glad you. Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, Reggie, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Anything else to say? Anything you want to end out here with?
Nah, I'm good. I'm just happy. It's a blessing to be here.
Good.
First time doing a podcast. Cool experience.
Well, man, you come back anytime, man.
Okay.
Anytime you want to come talk, we can talk football.
All right.
I'm down for it. So, you got anything else to say, Brennan?
Man, you got to come back.
All right.
Once you hit that 180.
I'll never be back then.
And hey, like Brandon said, if you ever want to know how to
weight gain skills, just let me know.
Yeah, just let him know. He'll help you out. All right. Well, everybody, thank y'all. Reggie Davis, look out for him, root for him. You got on Instagram Reggie Davis, right?
Reggie Davis _ yep.
Reggie Davis, just Reggie Davis _.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Follow him on Instagram, and we'll be rooting for him, man. Thank y'all.
Right, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.